Beloved, as we continue our celebration of Kwanzaa and as we light the third candle, we come to the third principle, UJIMA, which means collective work and responsibility. This principle calls us to build and maintain communities together, to solve problems as a collective, and to see the success of one as the success of all. Rooted in our shared faith, UJIMA echoes the biblical call to love our neighbors as ourselves and to bear one another's burdens. To truly embrace UJIMA, we must look at our ancestors who modeled collective work and responsibility. Today, we reflect on the powerful legacies of the founders of Mound Bayou, Mississippi, and the organizations birthed by the Universal Negro Improvement Association and the National Council of Negro Women. These stories illuminate the power of unity and shared responsibility in transforming communities. Mound Bayou, Mississippi was founded in 1887 by Isaiah T. Montgomery and Benjamin T. Green, two formerly enslaved men who envisioned a safe haven for Black families. They established Mound Bayou as an all-Black town built on the principles of self-reliance, cooperation, and collective uplift. At its height, Mound Bayou thrived with schools and hospitals, businesses, and a spirit of mutual aid that defined the community. Montgomery and Green's vision for Mound Bayou exemplified UJIMA. They understood that liberation required more than individual success. It demanded collective work to create structures that nurtured the whole community. Their story challenges us to ask, how are we building spaces for safety, opportunity, and empowerment for those around us? Are we willing to join hands with our neighbors to make this vision a reality? Mound Bayou reminds us that even in the face of systemic oppression, unity and shared labor can create thriving communities. Their legacy urges us to see our neighbors' challenges as our own and to commit ourselves to building together. The UNIA, founded by Marcus Garvey in 1914, the Universal Negro Improvement Association, also known as the UNIA, was rooted in the principles of unity, self-determination, and collective responsibility. Garvey and the leaders of the UNIA organized millions of Black people across the globe, emphasizing economic independence, education, and cultural pride. And the organization's motto, One God, One Aim, One Destiny, reflected a commitment to collective work for the liberation and advancement of Black people everywhere. Through initiatives such as the Black Star Line Shipping Company and the Negro Factories Corporation, the UNIA sought to create economic opportunities that would benefit the entire community. The leaders of the UNIA understood the progress required not only individual ambition, but also collective work, effort, and responsibility. And as we reflect on the UNIA, we are reminded of the power of organized effort. UJIMA calls us to think beyond our immediate circles and consider how our work can contribute to the global uplift of our people. Like the UNIA, we are called to mobilize our resources, our talents, and our energy for the common good. The National Council of Negro Women, NCNW, was founded in 1935 by Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune, a tireless advocate for education, civil rights, and women's empowerment. The NCNW united women's organizations across the nation, creating a powerful network to address issues such as education, health, and economic opportunity. Bethune's leadership and the work of the NCNW exemplified UJIMA, by centering collective action and shared responsibility. The organization's efforts have improved the lives of countless women and families through advocacy, community-based programs, and educational initiatives. The NCNW's work reminds us that when we come together, we can address systemic challenges and create meaningful change. In her words, Dr. Bethune said, "We have a powerful potential in our youth, and we must have the courage to change old ideas and practices so that we may direct their power toward good ends." This statement calls us to collective work and responsibility for the next generation, ensuring that our work today paves the way for a brighter future. The principle of UJIMA, or the spiritual value of UJIMA, is as urgent today as it was in the times of Mount Bayou, in the times of the UNIA and the NCNW. Our communities continue to face challenges that require collective action. Systemic racism, economic inequality, and social fragmentation. UJIMA calls us to respond not as isolated individuals, but as members of a shared body, united in purpose and commitment. To live out UJIMA, we must engage in collective work. We must find ways to collaborate with one another in addressing the needs of our communities, whether through our churches, civic organizations, grassroots movements, spiritual associations. We must join hands to tackle the challenges ahead. We must take responsibility for one another. Recognize that our neighbor's struggle, again, is our own, and offer support, encouragement, and tangible resources to those in need. We must build together. Invest in initiatives that strengthen our communities, from education and health programs to economic development programs. Like the founders of Mount Bayou, Mississippi, we must create structures that empower generations to come. We must then also mobilize for justice. Follow the example of the UNIA and the NCNW by organizing for systemic change, advocating for policies and practices that promote equality, dignity, and opportunities for all. Beloved, UJIMA is sacred, and it's a call to collective work and responsibility. It reminds us that we are stronger together and that our faith compels us to care for one another as members of God's global community. As we celebrate this third day of Kwanzaa, let us honor the legacies of Mount Bayou, UNIA, the NCNW, by committing ourselves to the work of building and sustaining our communities. In the words of Ecclesiastes 4:9 and 10, it says, "Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, one will lift the other up." Let us be lifters of one another, builders of hope, and co-laborers in God's vision of justice and peace. Amen and Ashe. Y'all be easy. Peace.